Hello and welcome again. Now that you've learned how to create groups, you have the option and the ability to create groupings. Now, while a group is a set of individual users, a grouping is a set of groups. Creating groupings is a great way for you to be able to differentiate assignments and activities for different sets of students. When you create groupings, you are able to show specific assignments to only those sets of groups of students. It can also help make a smaller group a little bit larger group in order to increase peer-to-peer interaction and collaboration. So let's take a minute to walk through how to create groupings. Once you're in your Groups page, select Groupings from the top menu. We currently have no groupings, so you'll want to create grouping. And here you are able to give very specific individual names to each grouping. So we'll just go ahead and call this Team A. You can give it a grouping description. I know that I'm going to want groups 1 and 2 in this grouping just for my reference so that I remember. And I'll go ahead and save changes. I'll go ahead and create one more grouping. I'm going to call this Team B. The grouping name can be up to you. It can be what the students decide, however you choose to identify the groupings. This is going to be groups 3 and 4. Save changes. And maybe I'll create one more group, Team C. And I'm going to want groups 5 and the Titans in this group. And I'll go ahead and save changes. And then in order to add groups to my grouping, I'll look at the right-hand side where it says Edit, and I'll select the two heads there, the two people icons, and then I can select how many or which one of the members I want in my group. So I know that for Team A, I had said I wanted group 1. I'll hit Control or Command, and group 2, and I'll select Add. And then you can see that there are two groups within my grouping for Team A. So I'll go ahead and select back to Groupings. All right, and it tells me what groups are in there. So again, for Team B, I'll select the two people icon. I know I wanted groups 3 and groups 4, so I'll select those and add them. Now here it says members 2, but remember that within those groups, we had 5 to 6 members. So this is just telling me how many groups are within this grouping. Select back to groups. Again, I see that I have group 3 and group 4, and then I remember that my Team C had group 5 and the Titans. And then I'll select Add, and then back to groupings. And there, quite simply, I have created 3 groupings for my 6 groups, so that assignments that are in the grouping for Team A, they will see those, and so on and so forth for Team B and for Team C. Then I can also just see an overview of all of the groups and the groupings that I have created in my course. And this is just an overview to kind of refresh your memory or help you remember, or if someone is off track, who is in what group and in what grouping, and their names with their descriptions. And there you have it. That is how you can create groupings within your JVLA course. And remember that various activities such as quizzes and discussion boards and assignments have the option of groups. You can have them be visible groups, separate groups, or no groups at all. So for example, I'll just walk you through one of them here briefly. If and when I wanted to create, I'll go ahead and turn my editing on. If I wanted to add an assignment, an activity, or a resource, and let's say that I wanted to add a forum post, then in my activity, where it says visible, show, and now I have to redo this. Oh. Here in common module settings, no groups, I can select separate groups or visible groups. And if I select separate groups, then it'll give me the option of which grouping I want it to be, Team A or none. Separate groups would just show them Team 1, Team 2, Team 3. Grouping would show Team A, Team B, or Team C. If I wanted visible groups, same thing. So because I have the option to create groups within my course, each activity under Common Module Settings will allow me to determine if I want separate groups where they cannot see each other's information, or visible groups. They can see that there are other groups and what they're doing, but they cannot edit. And then if I want them in groupings. So that is just one of the ways that you can use groups within your course. Again, any questions, comments, or concerns, please email me.